Alright, so we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and in today's video we are going to be doing a should you summon for the Dokkan Fest Android 21's banner, because of course this did just drop on both Global and JP Dokkan. Now her banner isn't really that bad, going to be completely honest with you. If you're newer to the game, there definitely is some value here, but if you've summoned on a lot of recent banners, you probably have some of these units, so I don't think for majority of players you should be summoning on here just because there's better stuff incoming. But that's not to say there's no value on this banner. You can see here we got obviously the two new 21s, which are both really good. We've got Kale, which this is Super Trunks on JP. I would say Kale and Super Trunks have basically the same amount of value. They're both very good units on specific teams, but those teams just aren't that great right now. So they have very similar value right now. So not really a whole lot to contrast with them. I would say they're very similar. So on both Global and JP, this slot is very similar, just units that are heavily restricted and those teams suck. Super 17, I mean, look, he's good, but until you transform and then also receive like a bunch of attacks, he's really not going to look that impressive defensively. So I don't really think this guy is that crazy. I think he has potential to be good, but the potential to get that is really difficult. So definitely not the greatest unit here, but he still has some value. Gamma is absolutely insane. And then the Tech 17 and 18 still pretty useful with that Ghost Usher on their active skill. So not the best banner, but all four of these units right here. And then I guess maybe Kale and Super Trunks for JP have some value. But, you know, both the androids, they're not really that great. And they're not really amazing for difficult content right now just because this guy takes too long to get good. And then they really only have that Ghost Usher on their active skill. But they still have their value. I don't want to take that away from them. But if you really want Super 17, if you really want the Tech androids, I probably recommend getting them with just red coins, even though I don't really recommend getting androids with red coins, the tech ones. I think you probably should buy another unit that's even better than them. Like if you don't have the Gammas, maybe buy them. If you don't have Kale, yeah, don't buy her. Just save for another unit. I don't really recommend buying Kale with red coins, but Gammas are a really good option. They're still insane. Really useful units for newer players. I think they both lead movie heroes as well. Yeah, Gamma 1 does, and then I think Gamma 2 does as well. Obviously, movie heroes is one of the best categories in the game. So for newer players, they have some really good categories in their leader skill, and they're just going to be very useful. But if you already have the Gammas, if you're not really a big fan of Android 21, skip it. No value here whatsoever. I mean, who are you going to pull? Tech androids? Super 17? No, just easy skip. Like I said, better stuff incoming. But if you're new to the game, or you really like Android 21, maybe a couple multis wouldn't hurt, but I don't recommend going too deep. And then next up, we should be getting Dokkan Fest Super Trunks. I mean, he already is on the JP banner, like I mentioned. So it's crazy that we still don't have him on Global, even though he's already returned on JP. But we should be getting this guy really soon. Really cool that we're going to finally be getting him. But, you know, skip his banner. No value here whatsoever. Majin Vegeta's aged, but he's still somewhat solid. If you really want him, buy him with red coins. The Super Vegeta just kind of sucks, waiting for an easy A. Same thing with this guy. The Kid Gohan, he's a good support, but I gotta admit, defensively, he does kind of suck. He is a stacker, but he just doesn't stack quick enough. Super 17, I already talked about him, doesn't really get good enough until too late in the fight. Band unit absolutely sucks, and then Super Trunks, like I said, is really good if his restrictions are activated. So if you have a full Android/Cell Saga team, and you get that high chance to guard, you get the transformation off with him as early as possible, he's gonna be looking really impressive, but keep in mind, those conditions are pretty rough. It's not that easy to get them. So I really recommend skipping. The only value here should be maybe buying 1 or 2 units with red coins if you really want them. But even with that, I probably recommend you save for buying like the 8th year anniversary LRs with red coins, which, by the way, we are going to be getting. So in December, we're going to get this banner right here, the actual Tanabata banner, or I guess the winter banner, whatever, on Global. This does bring back the 8th year anniversary LRs, so you can buy them with red coins. I guess you could also buy a couple other units with red coins, but no, just get the 8th year anniversary LRs. They're by far the best units on here, maybe minus the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So definitely a lot of value with them. 500 red coins, so maybe instead of buying, Majin Vegeta with 400 red coins, do a couple multis on whatever banner, or maybe sell some units or whatever, and then you'll be able to get 500, and then you'll have enough to get one of these guys. I recommend getting GT Duo if you don't have either of them, but if you have GT Duo and you want to buy Z Duo, completely understandable. Like I said, both of them are really good. I don't really recommend you summon on this banner. Maybe if you have like 480 red coins and you need to do a couple multis, I guess it might not be the worst idea, because then you might actually pull one of the 8th year anniversary LRs, so then you don't have to use your red coins just to get you to 500, so then obviously you can buy them. But Other than that, I would say just skip it. The only value this should really have is 8th year anniversary LRs with red coins. And then next up, I mean, not really a whole lot to talk about. I think the proof is in the pudding. Do you want to summon for this? Answer me in the comments. Would you want to summon for this? This banner right here. I think most of you are probably going to say no. Don't get me wrong, Omega Shenron's good. Don't get me wrong, Carnival LR Goku's good, but that's it. I mean, Tech Sin can be kind of good. Everyone else just kind of sucks. So, definitely a bad banner. Some good unfeatured LRs, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about the featured units. And in terms of the featured units, it kind of just sucks. So, very easy skip here unless you're a huge fan of Omega. And even if you are, I mean, have fun running them on GT bosses because that's pretty much the only spot you got for them. I'll say that. I hope your GT bosses category is good. I hope you have a lot of these specific units because it's the only team he's going to be working good on. And then a little later that month, or I guess early for the month after, so January, we are going to get the New Year's Step Up. There's also the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest, but obviously we don't have like a blueprint for that pulled up. I guess I could pull up the previous New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest. Hang on, we could pull up Beast Gohan, or I guess Beast quotations Gohan, just to see when we're going to get it. So the 28th of December is when the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest was last year. We don't know if they're going to be LRs. We don't know if they're going to be TURs. All we know is we're getting, you know, a Dual Dokkan Fest for New Year's. Should be pretty good. The banners were pretty stacked last year, so definitely some value with both of the Dokkan Fests we're going to be getting. I don't know what they're going to do. I would assume probably Tournament of Power, because then Anniversary after that could be like, you know, Super Gogeta, Super Vegito, and then this could be the big Tournament of Power celebration. So I'm going to put my bets in now. I'm going to say we're going to get a new LR Jiren and a new LR UI Goku, or TUR UI Goku, TUR Jiren, whatever they want to do with that. So definitely saving maybe some stones for this would be valuable because, like I said, this is one of those banners that is really useful. You know, every year we've got those couple banners, Golden Week, Anniversary, Tanabata, Worldwide, New Year's, you know, those kind of banners which have a lot of value. This is one of those banners, so saving some stones for it definitely would be good. And then also, not this banner, this one is coming right after that as well. So then saving some stones for this would be pretty smart because it's 200 stones for every rotation. You can do 3 rotations, and you're basically guaranteed to pull something good. Like every step, you're going to get some really good units. You can see here we got 200% leads. Down here we got a bunch of Legendary Summon LRs. And obviously this is the last year's Step Up banner, so this is going to be updated with more modern units, and it's just going to have a lot of value. So definitely saving some stones for this would be good. And then shortly after that, sometime after, I don't really know when they're going to release this guy, but eventually we're going to get the Dokkan Fest androids. I don't know. I'm going to be honest, they're alright. They're a decent support. They get some damage reduction. In slot 2 and 3, they're going to be a really good unit, but like as a lead, don't really know how I'm feeling about them. Their banner unit sucks, and their banner has a couple good options, but other than that, it's pretty mid. So I would say skip it, buy God Goku with red coins, buy Path to Power Kid Goku with red coins, and then other than that, just completely skip this banner and don't even acknowledge its existence, because this really doesn't do anything for you. Not the best banner, not the best Dokkan Fest, so very easy skip here. And then after that, we are going to get the LR Ribrianne's banner. I mean, I'm going to be honest, there's a couple good options on here, but overall the banner does suck. You got LR Bulma, you got LR Kale and Caulifla, and then I guess maybe Tech Kefla can be kind of useful, or Tech Caulifla, not Kefla. So definitely a little bit of value. LR Ribrianne does kind of suck though, so even if you end up pulling the new unit, you're still getting shafted. So definitely don't summon on this. Unfeatured LRs are good, but same thing with the Omega banner. We don't really talk about the unfeatured LRs, so definitely skip. No one cares about Ribrianne anyway, so don't even acknowledge it. Just completely forget it exists. And then next up, we do have the Gohan and Piccolo. They've got a solid banner. I think I've said this a couple times. For newer players, this really isn't the worst banner to summon on because you'll notice this is all 200% leads. So we've got Raditz, who definitely does suck, but I mean, he has his values in World Tournament and Super Battle Road and is a pretty good lead for newer players. He leads Pure Sands. And then we got Ginyu, really good Extreme Class leader. We got Yamcha, really good lead. He leads Earthbred Fighters, one of the best categories in the game. So for newer players, he'd be really good. Bardock, not necessarily amazing, but he leads Goku Family, one of the best categories in the game, and also has the Scouter for the first couple turns, so he definitely has his uses. And then we got Turles, one of the best Extreme Class leaders in the game. We got the Banner Unit Vegeta and Nappa, who are really, really good for a Banner Unit. They're pretty stacked, actually. It's crazy how they made them just insanely busted. Typically, Banner Units lately have been fumbles. I mean, I think, again, proof is in the pudding. Look at these guys. Look at, I guess, this guy right here. Like, most of the Banner Units have just kind of sucked. So then having this guy be really good is definitely really, you know, beneficial to a lot of these Extreme Class teams. And then Gohan and Piccolo, good support, good unit once they exchange. They're not insane, but they're good. I think a good comparison for them is Android 21. They're around that level. They definitely have areas where they can get destroyed and they've got flaws in their kit, but they also have potential to be really crazy. So definitely a good unit all around and a good banner all around. If you're new to the game, I do kind of recommend maybe summoning just a little because, of course, you've got a lot of content to grind. You've got a lot of stones you can get. So it's not like experienced players where you have to save your stones and be very careful what you summon on if you're free to play. So if you're new to the game, maybe a couple multis here wouldn't be that bad because, like I said, a lot of really good leads to get you set up for a good team. And then next up, we do have potentially, I just want to throw this out there, a synced anniversary. Anniversary is rolling around at the end of January for JP. So then we would be getting this in like 2-3 months on global if it is synced. So just keep in mind, we got this around the corner. What I recommend you do is you save all your stones right now. You start saving for New Year's, and then you summon on the New Year's banners, and then you save after that for anniversary. I think that's probably the smartest option. Granted, I know that only gives you like a month or two of saving, but I mean, you should be able to get some stones in that time period. We're going to be getting a lot of celebrations in between as well. And of course, the New Year's celebration is going to give us a lot of stones. So if you save all those stones up for anniversary, you should have a fair amount. I mean, I know, content has been a little rough in Dokkan as of recently, but if you do that, you should be all right, and you should be able to get some value with the 8th year anniversary banners and the New Year's banners. But, it's going to be difficult. If you're free to play, it's going to be hard to space out your stones. So just do what you think is best for you. Summon on what you think is best for you because, of course, it all depends on your opinion at the end of the day and which units you want the most. So I guess that pretty much has been the video. Let me know which banner you're looking forward to the most, and let me know if you summon on Android 21's banner and if you managed to pull anything good. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.